Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to explain you after Blenheim line by line. Okay, so each and every line can be explained in this video. So you just listen that so that you can understand better, and it will be very useful while you're writing exams. And it was a summer evening. Old Casper's work was done, and he before his cottage door was sitting in the sun, and by him spotted on the green his little grandchild Wilhelmine. So spotted means here playing, okay. And on a summer evening, old Casper, as I already told you, the protagonist of the poem, okay, old Casper. So he's old, no, so that's why we are calling him as old Casper. And after doing his work, all the daily activities were already completed by old Casper. So was sitting in the sun before his cottage, where on the lawns of the cottage his grandchild Wilhelmine was playing. And also cottage, he sat in front of his own cottage. Okay, and Wilhelmine, the granddaughter of old Casper, was also playing there beside him. So she saw her brother Peterkin roll something large and round, which he beside the rivulet in playing there had found. He came to ask what he had found that was so large and smooth and round. So now she was able to see her brother was playing with a round kind of an object. Okay, so he was rolling that and he was playing with that object. They did not know what is that actually. Okay, so which he beside the rivulet, as I already told you, he found that round kind of an object in front of that rivulet. Rivulet is nothing but a little stream which can be called as a lake or pond. Okay, so in playing there had found, so while he was playing there on that particular place, he found that round kind of an object. So he came to ask what he had found. So now he wants to know the information regarding that skull. Actually, he doesn't recognize it is a skull because it was already underneath the land, no, so he was not able to identify that. It is like a round kind of an object for both of the children. Okay, so that was so large and smooth and round. So it is like large one, it is very smooth one, and it looks round. Okay, so they did not recognize it is a skull of some human. So rivulet, a tributary of a river, a small river. Okay, so we can talk about the river. So rivulet means the small river. So Casper's little grandchild Wilhelmine saw her brother Peterkin rolling something large and round towards the house. So Casper's little granddaughter, that means Wilhelmine, was able to see her brother was taking something. I mean, he was playing with some round kind of an object. So Peterkin had found the thing beside the small river and had been playing with it. So he thought it is one kind of a toy. So that's why he thought of playing with that and he started playing. The thing roused his curiosity. That he got lots of excitement, okay, anxiousness regarding that round kind of an object. He really interested in knowing about each and every detail of that particular round kind of a thing. He had come to his grandfather Casper to ask him what is the large object that he has found which is smooth and round. So now he was asking so many doubts regarding that particular round kind of an object. Actually that is a skull. So now he wants to know more information regarding that skull. Okay, he wanted lots of responses. He wanted to know the story behind that. So he wants to ask so many questions regarding that. Okay, so he came and he started asking his grandfather, and even Wilhelmine was also playing lots of interest on knowing about that story. Old Casper took it from the boy. So now old Casper took that skull, okay, from the hands of our Peterkin, and who stood expectant by. And then the old man shook his head, and now who stood expectant? Now he really eager to know the information, no? So he was very anxious and he was excited for that. Okay, so now and then the old man shook his head, and now he was okay, shake his head, and he was then the old man shook his head and with a natural sigh. And it is a very normal routine thing for him because he already found so many skulls inside the land. He was already making the agriculture, as I told you, he was making farming, and it is a very routine thing for him to find such kind of skulls in the land. Okay, it's not a very surprise thing, or it's not very wonderful thing for him to find out such a skull. For us it is a unique thing that we cannot find such kind of skulls in our lands. Okay, but it is a very normal thing for old Casper because he thought that actually he didn't see such kind of a skull in his lifetime. So now he felt very amazed after watching that skull. amazed after watching that skull, and he really wanted to know the information regarding that. We may also get such kind of excitement if we see such kind of them, right? And old man shook his head and with a natural sigh, "It is some poor fellow skull." So now he is telling that this means here it is a some poor fellow's skull. Okay, somebody who took part in the war and unfortunately who died in the war. So this is that person's skull. Okay, so many people got dead. There are no actually there are not many people to bury their bodies and make all the funerals, okay, for those dead ones, because many are there. So how can we expect the people to make those funeral service or anything for them? It's very difficult, no, they can't do that. So unfortunately they were not making anything for those people. They were laid on the land just like that, and nobody is concentrating on those dead bodies. So that's why we are able to see such kind of skulls in the poem, all through the poem. Okay, so that's why even the Peterkin was also able to find out one skull, okay, before the cottage. Okay, so now, so some poor fellow's skull, said he who fell in the great victory. So now he felt that it is a great thing for that person to die in the great war. Okay, so he keeps on quoting that one as a great war, no? So it is a great thing for that poor person to die in that great war. Okay, so if you die in the great war for your nation, then people can give you lots of respect, isn't it? So that's what happened in this poem also. So let's move on. Old Casper took, eager means expectance, means eager sigh, exhale noisily when one reminds of something not so sweet. So now he gave a natural sigh, as I told you that he was not very much interested to give information about that skull. Old Casper took that round object from his grandchild Peterkin, who stood eagerly looking at his grandfather, expecting a reply from him. So now he was expecting a reply from grandfather, but grandfather was not giving lots of information regarding that. And the old man looked at it intently and shook his head, probably getting reminded of those days of the war, and took a sigh to say that the round object is nothing but a skull of some poor fellow who was killed in the Battle of Blenheim. So now he was telling that actually it's a routine thing for me to find so many skulls in front of my home. So now you got the skull. It's not a very great thing. Okay, so we usually find the skulls in front of our house, and if you dig the land, then you can find so many skulls because many people got dead in the war. So that is a sign you can understand that many people lost their lives because of this Blenheim war. It's not a great thing for us. And after that, but while referring to the battle, old Casper said that this poor fellow might have been the cost of the great victory. So now he's telling that this person was died because of that great war. So I find them in the garden, for there is many here about. So now old Casper started telling that many of the skulls were found out by me. So when I was doing the farming, many skulls came out of the land when I was plowing that land. Okay, so it's not a unique thing that finding out a skull. And often when I go to plow, the plowshare turns them. So now for many thousand men, said he, were slain in that great victory. So now he was telling that if I use that plowshare, then I can see that many of the skulls can come out after making that plowing of that land. Okay, so it's a very routine thing for me to find so many skulls in the land. So the main cutting blade of the plow. So behind the curtled, slain means killed. Many people got killed in the war, the great war. So old Casper answers that one can find many in the gardens, and moreover adds that when he plows the land, skulls and often come out with the blade of his plow, as thousands of men were killed in the Battle of Blenheim. So when he was making that farming also, he can able to find out many of the skulls. Okay, so if he wants to make anything in the garden also, he can find so many skulls inside of that land. So it's not a very normal thing. It's not a very great thing for him to find so many skulls in the land. Okay, so now tell us what it was all about. Young Peterkin, he cries. So now he was asking. Peterkin was crying means here not crying, having tears in your eyes. It's not like that. Crying means here he was shouting for the answer. He was asking that. So can you tell the information regarding that war? So can you tell the story behind that? So they were getting lots of interest, and they were concentrating more and more on that particular story. Okay. So young Peterkin, he cries, and little Wilhelmine looks up and with a wonder waiting eyes. Even Wilhelmine was also showing interest after listening the words of the Peterkin. Okay, so she is getting lots of excitement regarding that. So now tell us all about the war and what they fought each other for. So can you tell me what is that war all about and how many people took part in that war and what is the good came out of that war? So can you tell me that all information about the Blenheim War? So wonder waiting means here eyes looking with curiosity. So she got lots of curiosity, as I told you. Peterkin wants to know further, and therefore he asked his grandfather to tell what the war was all about. As Wilhelmine also looks up to her grandfather in curiosity. They want to know who fought and whom, and who fought with the whom, and also for what purpose. So what is the purpose of making war? Okay, so children can ask so many questions to the the older people. Okay, so actually they also asking so many questions to old Casper, but unfortunately old Casper was not able to explain many things about the war, but he knows only one thing, that it is a great war, and he shared one life experience also. So let me explain you that. So it was English, Casper cried. So who put the French to rout? So now English only got the victory over the French people. Okay, so English and French people took part in the war, and but what they fought each other for and why did they fight for each other, actually I could not well make out, because I could not tell you everything in a well manner, because I did not know. I know only little information that two people took part in the war and they are French and English rooted French. That means English got the victory over the French people, and but everybody said, quoth he, that it was a famous victory. Many of the people are telling that, many of the people, quoth means here quoted, that means here it was a famous victory. So I am also calling and repeating after them, that is a great victory. I do not know anything more than that. So root means here defeat ma, quoth means quoted, said. Okay, old Casper answers by saying that it was the English who fought the French, and but the old man could not figure out what they fought for, and he was not able to explain what is the reason behind the war, and why did they come for war, and what is the reason made them to come for a war. And he only knows that people said it was a famous victory, and they were telling that it was a famous victory, and he is also calling it as a great victory, famous victory. Okay, so my father lived at Blenheim then. So my father old Casper's father used to live in Blenheim. Okay, in the ancient period. So yon little stream by, so behind this little stream where you are playing right now, and they burned his dwelling to the ground. So now his house got burnt by the soldiers. Okay, so at the time, and he was forced to fly. So at the time, in order to save his, and he was forced to fly. So old Casper's father has to leave that place in order to save his life, his wife's life, and also his son's life, that is old Casper. The Casper was old now. Casper is old now, but he was a child in the past, no? When Casper's father was young. So that was the story which happened in his life when he was an infant. Okay, so that's what happened to the Casper when he was a child to his parents. Okay, old Casper's father and old Casper's mother, they went away from that place along with our Casper, who was a child in the ancient period. So they went away to save their lives because their house got burned by the soldiers. And with his wife and child he fled, nor had he where to rest his head. And also he doesn't know where to go and save his life, where to rest his head also, because they do not have any house and they cannot take the rest. So at the time they fled away to they flee away from that place in order to save their life. So yon means the determiner of the adverb, meaning that. So he was telling that that we were living by that little stream. Okay, so he was telling the past story. Okay, so with fire, old Casper further adds that his father lived in Blenheim beside the little river during the war. His cottage was burned and he was forced to run away with his wife and children and did not know where to rest. So at the time, as I told you, that old Casper's father was young man, and his house got burnt when Casper was an infant child. So at the time, old Casper's father and mother went away from that place in order to save their lives when Casper was a young child. So he was an infant. So with fire and sword, the country round was wasted far and wide. So now I can tell you that many of the people were killed, okay, with the swords and with the fire, okay, far and wide. And also wasted means here shattered, and many a childing mother, then childing mother means pregnant mothers got dead, okay, and after that newborn baby died, and also the infant childs who were born, okay, recently, even they got dead. And but things like that, must be at every famous victory. But we cannot say there will not be any exception for this war. If any war happens, then people should die. The people, the opponents cannot identify that these people are infants and these people are pregnant women, these people are old ones. They may not concentrate on anything. They really wanted to get the victory. They may not look at anyone's. They may not have any kindness towards others. Their main goal is to kill all the people in their opposite nation or their opponents. Okay, so that is the only thing they gonna concentrate, and they kill many people, okay, in this Blenheim war also. And here, childing mother means pregnant mother. Old Casper further adds that the whole country was shattered and many children, pregnant women died. Though Old Casper also says that things like these happen during a famous victory. If it is a famous victory, then people gonna die. It's not a special thing. Okay, if a war happens, then people gonna lose their lives. Okay, and they say it was a shocking sight after the field was won. So for many thousand bodies here lay rotting in the sun, but things like that, must be after a famous victory. So now he was telling that it was a shocking sight for us to see many dead bodies got laid on that particular land. It's very rare situation to see so many dead bodies on the land. The land got covered with the dead bodies, and for many thousand bodies here, and many of the people were there. After the field was won, so as they got the land, many of the dead bodies, okay, they were spread all over that land. Okay, so for many thousand bodies are here and lay rotting in the sun, and they were not buried by anyone because many are there. Who's gonna do that? It's very difficult thing. People are few and the dead bodies were many, so how can they make all the funeral service to those people? It's very difficult. And but things like that, must be after a famous victory. So these things are very common and routine in the great victories like Blenheim. So there is no exception for this war. Okay, so shocking, dreadful. So now people say the sight of the battlefield was dreadful after the war was over, as thousands of dead bodies were rotting under the sun. But people also say that this is the cost of the famous victory. So even though many people got dead, they are telling that it is a common thing for a great war like a Blenheim to lose lives in our own generation, in our own nation. Great praise Duke of Marlborough won, and our good Prince Eugene. So these are the great people who took part in the war. Okay, so that's why he was calling it as a great war. Old Casper was calling this one as a great war. Not only the Old Casper, many people were calling it as a great war because great heroes like Duke Marlborough won, and our good Prince Eugene. Why it was a very big thing, said little Wilhelmine. So why they are calling it as a great victory? Wilhelmine did not like that idea. She was telling that it can be the wicked thing. As I already told you, that poet was criticizing through the children's characters. They are Wilhelmine and Peterkin. He doesn't like the war. He's an anti-war poet and he doesn't like the idea of losing people in our own nation. So that's why he's telling that, said little Wilhelmine. Nay, nay, my little girl, quoth he, it was a famous victory. No, 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 you should not say like that, my dear young daughter. It is a famous victory. Okay, so Old Casper further says that Duke of Marlborough and Prince Eugene of the Savoy were the war heroes. To his Wilhelmine says that the battle was a very wicked thing because many people got dead in the war, and Old Casper answers in the negative to Wilhelmine by saying that it was a famous victory. So she was telling that it is a wicked thing, but he was extremely not very happy with the idea of our Wilhelmine, and he was telling that it's not a wicked thing, it is a great victory, he said again. So and everybody praised the Duke, and who this great fight did win, and but what good came out of it at last, quoth little Peterkin. Peterkin was asking what good came out of this war. Actually no good came out of this war. Okay, so Old Casper was not able to explain it in a proper way, and this great fight did win, and but what good came out of it at last, quoth little Peterkin. Why, that I cannot tell. I cannot tell you why we can call it as a great war. I cannot tell you why we are quoting it as a famous victory. But quoth little Peterkin, why, that I cannot tell. Said he, it was a famous victory. It is a famous victory. That's what I can tell you. I cannot give you any explanations or any reasons for calling it as a great war. Even though I lost my family, okay, so even though we lost our cottage, but still I can call it as a great war because many people are calling it. So it is happening, no? So if someone calls it as a great one, all the people can repeat the same thing even if they do not know the information regarding that particular situation or anything. Okay, so that's what happening here also. Everyone praised the Duke who fought bravely. So actually The person Duke was fighting very courageously in this war, and Pitakin then asks what is the good thing that came at the end of the war. The old man answers that he does not know that, but only knows it was a famous victory. And again he is telling that it is a great victory. That is the only thing I know. And historical background to the Battle of Blenheim. War broke out in 1701 between Austria and France when King Louis of France tried to accede the throne of Austria. So now we know the actual history of this Blenheim War. 1701, the war took place between Austria and France. Okay, so the King Louis of the France wants to take the throne of Austrian king. Okay, so at the time the other European powers also joined the war. England and the Netherlands allied themselves with Austria and Italian princes of the Mantua and Savoy, along with the German princes from Bavaria and Cologne, allied themselves with the France. So many people are helping the French king. Okay, so the people from Netherlands, those kings, okay, European powers, many of the European powers like England, Netherlands, okay, so Italian princes, and these people are all giving helping hand to the French king. Okay, if you have a power, people can come and listen to you, isn't it? So that's what happened here also. Prince of Savoy later joined the anti-French coalition, and this coalition then went on to defeat French forces in 1704. Okay, and after that anti-French coalition and coalition then went on to defeat French forces in 1704 at the Battle of the Blenheim, where Duke of Marlborough and Prince Eugene of Savoy were great heroes. So these are the people who took part in the war. So that's why even in the After Blenheim poem we come to know these names. Okay, the Prince of Eugene and also Marlborough. Okay, so these are the main great heroes. I hope you understood this After Blenheim poem.